Hello, today I'm bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle against Alexia, I'm just going to say. And she has got an awesome looking team. Flygon, Gothitelle, just Pokemon you don't generally see. And we're just going to jump straight into this battle here. And she decides to lead her off with a Turritum, and I lead off by Sandy D. She's not brought up that way to lead, but I thought she'd be a pretty good lead for this match. So, expecting the Will-O-Wisp here, I'm just going to go straight for an Earthquake and get as much damage as I can on this thing. And I do about 30% to it, but it goes for a Toxic instead of a Will-O-Wisp, so that's interesting. I mean, I think Will-O-Wisp probably would have been the other option, but either way, I get cured from my Lumberry, so my Sandshrew decides to have a normal that, as this thing decides to go for leftovers. So I'm thinking she could switch possibly here, so I'll go for a knockoff. Either way, I can get rid of these damn leftovers, so it stops this thing being an absolute problem. So I get poisoned, and Sandy D doesn't mind being poisoned too much. She's more of a brute than anything else, so I don't really care about being poisoned out like that. So I go for a Stone Edge here, and luckily for me, I get a critical hit. If it wasn't a crit, the Spiritomb probably would have lived and probably could have started setting up screens or maybe doing some kind of damage or something like that. So down goes Spiritomb. It was nice to see that on the Wi-Fi battle. And she decides to go into this ORAS here, I want to say. Either way, Sandy D is not sticking around to take an ice attack to the face. So I go to my Cresselia to bulk it out, and she decides to go for the Freeze Dry. Probably predicting maybe the Floor Tilt to come in and take a water move off, something like that. But of course, Freeze Dry is going to do nothing to Cresselia. Cresselia is just going to, again, like Spiritomb, sorry, just decide to sit down here and start numbing away. So I decide to poison this thing, and she decides to set up a light screen. So I'm wondering what kind of set this is. I think this is maybe the second time I've versed one of these things. So it starts setting up a light screen, so I'm thinking, okay, so my special attacks now aren't going to do anything, so maybe the item it's got is Light Clay. So she just decided to withdraw, and I'm not quite sure what I go for. I believe I go for a Psychic just to try and get some damage on whatever goes in here, yep. And then it goes into this Feraligatr, so after the light screen set up, I barely do about 10% of this thing. But luckily for me, I am now up to full health. So I want to get a Paralyze on this thing just in case it wants to start setting up Dragon Dancers. So I am probably going to get a Crunch to the face here. But, yep, I'm right, I do get Crunch to the face. And that does a good amount of damage, and I'm thinking, holy crap, I thought I was tanky. But of course that critical hit, so Cresselia is not wanting to stick around to take another one of them. So I do decide to withdraw and go into my Flying Chew here just to take whatever attack off. Flying Chew is not going to be too useful this match. So get crunched on here, and with the Paralyze I am going to be able to do a load of the Electrical, but of course the person manages to make a good predicting the switch here. But I managed to predict the switch and go for the Air Slash, hitting this Flygon in the face and doing not very much damage on that light screen. So she goes to the Rock Slide here, and so that shows me this thing is Scarfed. So Scarfed Flygon is not one to be messed with, but at least it can't U-turn out. So I go to my Muk here. Muk is a good reliable Pokemon to take on this thing, because I know it's not going to be able to EQ me. So she does decide to withdraw and go straight into the Gothitelle here. So I'm trapped in with the Shadow Tag most likely, so Power Up Punch is going to do absolutely nothing to this thing. But at least I am able to raise my attack stat. So goes to the Psychic here, and the Psychic doesn't, well, it does do over half, but with Black Sludge I can live another one of them, so I can get another Power Up Punch off. So trapped in here, I'm just going to make the best of the situation I can, just Power Up Punch this thing until I can start going for the Shadow Sneaks. So go for the Shadow Sneak, it does a good chunk of damage after 2 Power Up Punches, and she goes for the Shadow Ball here. Not sure why, because I couldn't withdraw cover the Shadow Tag. Maybe this thing didn't have Shadow Tag, but I just kind of thought, well, I'm trapped in either way. So go for the Shadow Sneak again, and I'm able to kill off this Gothitelle, thankfully. So with this wall and threat out play, my Muk's able to manage to recover more for Black Sludge and be about just under half health. So she goes to this Moltres here, and I was so fearing this thing because I didn't have any Stealth Rocks up or anything like that. And I underestimate my Muk here. I go for the Shadow Sneak just trying to get whatever damage I can. Do about 30%, and she decides to go for a Heat Wave here, and I am able to live it and not get burned. So if I'd went for the Poison Jab here, this thing probably, I could have safely said this thing would be really low health and maybe even KO'd. But of course I've got to go for the Shadow Sneak again because I'm not going to be outspeed. But luckily Muk, before he decides to poison this thing again, so I get the last laugh as this thing Air Slashes me and totally kills me off. So good old Reliable's down. Say Muk is an awesome Pokemon. I would definitely suggest anybody watching this video try a Muk. A Muk is a good replacement on the team. Hydrogen is completely right about Muk. Muk is so damn reliable. So me stupidly predicting the switch here, I go for a Pursuit, but does not go that, and she goes for a Heat Wave, which probably wouldn't have been the best move. An Air Slash would have killed me, because not exactly the best defensive being a Float Tilt and all. So I probably should have went for an Aqua Jet. So major misplay on my part, over predicted. So she goes into the Flygon here, and of course this thing's going to be able to outspeed me, and I don't really fancy going for an Acro Jet because it's probably not going to kill. So I go into Micro Celebi to see what it wants to go and do, and it goes into a Dragon Claw, which is more than a safe bet. But it does just less than half, and with Lefty's recovery I'm fine. So this is a more chance than ever to get off a Moonlight. So I decided to withdraw the Flygon, and she's going to go into a Feraligatr, which I predicted. So I'm just like, okay, I just want to start Moonlighting here, get as much recovery as I can. Because I want to keep my Cresselia nice and healthy. So basically after this, I decide to get Lefty's recovery. I either go for a Psychic, or I withdraw into my Burger Queen. Yep, I believe I go into my Burger Queen here, because Burger Queen can just take hits for absolute days. She's a queen for a reason, she's not a princess, she's got royalty, she's got rights. Still, go for the Crunch. Doesn't do too much of this thing, especially after Lefty's recovery, and even if it did, I do have Milk Drink, and Miltank has some surprisingly good speed. I mean, 100 base speed, just having the 100 base speed, it helps for a war. So luckily for me, Paralyze kicks in, this Feraligatr is not able to set up or go for a waterfall or anything like that. And luckily for me, I can just stay and keep body slamming, so I mean, body slammed off a Miltank's gonna hurt. I mean, I suppose the most painful body slam is definitely a Whalebone. That would hurt. And talking of getting hurt, I get hit with that superpower there, and that does a huge chunk of damage. But of course, after that, and just reveal the life orbs, and the strange thing is it lost HP there, so it's not a Shield Force one, it's a, what do you call it, it's just normal ability torrent, so that's really strange. Maybe she got the perfect IVs but couldn't be bothered to, you know, get the ability, but the ability does help there. Sheer Force for Alligator is an absolute beast. It deserves to be in UU. So I go into this thing, and I don't have Thick Fat, I have Scrappy, so I decide to withdraw and go to my Sandy D as Death Fodder. But surprisingly here, as you're about to say, I am able to live a Freeze Dry. And hits hurts, but I am just able just to live it with 17 HP, and even after the poison damage racks up, I live with 7 HP. So after we both get poisoned out here, it's like dinner around the ants, everyone's getting poisoned. So go straight for the Stone Edge, and it doesn't kill. I could have killed with the Earthquake off. This thing is Ice Rock, so the Earthquake would have killed, but I think I was over-predicting the switch back into the Flygon. But down goes Sandy D, but I am at a good point to wrap this match up. Me knowing I'm faster than this thing, with Sandy D outsped this thing, Burger Queen's definitely going to be able to outspeed it. So even though it's resisted, Body Slam is going to kill this thing. But this thing I believe has a lot of health but not the greatest defences, and a half decent special attack. It's a shame you don't do this thing more. It has a beautiful design, it's really good, nicely designed Pokemon. I mean, 6th gen we didn't get too many Pokemon, but I think all the designs are pretty nice. I even like Clefclade considering it's just a keyring. So it goes for the Dragon Claw here. It doesn't do too much to my defensive wall. I go for the Body Slam. And as the final insult, I do get the paralysis here, and she does decide to forfeit because she probably couldn't see any way of winning this game. So yeah, thanks for the battle, Alexandria, I was just going to say. And of course, if you like this battle, then feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I hope you all have a nice day, and well, just enjoy the rest of your day. It's a good day out there, sunny and everything.